welcome to anybody who is joining our live stream. I want to say welcome. I'm going to take a few moments of introduction here to allow anybody to come on and join the live stream broadcast. If you see it in your feed or if you've been waiting for this, we're thrilled to have you in attendance. The topic of our chat today is how to grow your online course business as a beginner. And the purpose of this course is to tell you how and why to create an online course and market that online course in a way that is absolutely successful. And what you're going to learn in the next few moments as I have a conversation with David here, whom I'll introduce, is going to absolutely change the way you think about online courses, and it's going to transform how you go about creating and marketing your online course as well. So by way of introduction, my name is Daniel Threlfall. I work with GetResponse, and 5 years ago, I took the journey of creating my own online course. I look back on that event, and I wish I had spoken with David before doing so, because after getting to know David and learning some of the secrets that he shares for free, I realized that my online course could have been 10 times more successful if I had used the valuable information that he shares. So hold on to your mobile device or your computer, because what's coming at you next could be a massive turning point in your journey towards creating and marketing an online course. Now, as a little bit of preliminary as to where we're going in the next few moments, we're going to be asking questions of you. We want your feedback. We want to know what questions are on your mind. We'd love to get your honest feedback as well as your most pressing questions. So the chat is wide open. That's for you to interact with. And I've got my eye on it to make sure that we can address those questions. But friends, I want to introduce to you David Vidales, coming to you from Stockholm, Sweden. David is the CEO and founder of Online Course Secrets. He has helped entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and course creators create over 8,000 courses. He's been doing this for many years, and he has a Facebook group in which he imparts some of his most valuable information for free to members of this Facebook community. And I'm going to share with you what that Facebook community is and how you can join for free at the conclusion of our live broadcast today. But I want to get started by allowing David to say hello, to introduce himself a bit, and then we can get started.
Hey there, how you doing? Hi, everyone, and hi, Daniel. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Great. Yeah, so first of all, let me just like a small little correction there. So I have a community with 8,000 people, and I do help people create and sell their online courses. I don't actually know how many people I've helped create their online course, but I doubt it's up to 8,000, right? So yeah, I do have a lot of clients and helping them create their courses, etc. But I don't think I'm at exactly 8,000 yet. I wish so.
Perhaps it was a prophecy there that I offered instead of an actual number, right? And so it's going to be 8,000 very soon. Yeah, but I do know that community that David manages on Facebook is nearly 8,000. So that's incredible. Yeah. Anybody who's attending here, I want to hear if you are creating an online course or maybe you've created an online course already. So if you have a course, if you've recorded something, go ahead and type course into the chat, okay? If you're still in the process of maybe ideating it, you want to create an online course, type interested. So if you've got a course, type course. If you're interested in doing this, type interested. And I kind of want to get a sense of who is doing what and how we can address these things. But I want to get some of the most valuable information from David at this point and ask him a couple questions. So basically what you can do is just listen in on our conversation and then just go ahead and ask questions as they come. So let me kind of get a sense, first of all, about your expertise, David, and what you're primarily interested in when you help absolute beginners engage and create an online course.
Yeah, I mean, I got started like many other people out there with a deep urge and will to help people and trying to find a way to package what I knew, my experiences, into an information product. And I started like many other stumbling upon an ad, learning about online courses and then falling for the whole myth and illusion of like being able to work from the beach and completely passive and all that kind of nonsense, which it really is, right? So there is a way to do this very, very profitably, and a lot of people are making a lot of money and helping a lot of people. But that whole illusion that you're gonna create something and then it's gonna be done and you're just gonna earn money is basically it's a lie. It's a marketing lie, you know. With that said, having gone deeper into online courses and actually working through this year after year after year, I've been able to quit my job. I've been able to work 100% with what I want to do. I've helped others to do the same. I've helped my girlfriend to quit her job. She's been helping me as an assistant. I'm not bound by time. I'm not bound by reach. I can help people all around the world. I can work when I want, how I want, where, when, how, with who I want. If I want to take two weeks off, I can do that. So it's very, very rewarding in the sense that I get to work with exactly what I love to do. I know I'm helping people and I get paid based on my results, not my time, but it's not passive. So it might sound like a contradiction there, but yeah, I think it's really important to get the expectations right from the beginning.
I think that's a really important point, and it's something too that kind of flummoxed me as I was entering the online course creation arena, because I was promised, riches and leisure, and like you said, sipping a limonada on the beach while just watching money come into my account. That is a myth. But what are some of the biggest mistakes that you see online course creators make? Some of those beginner mistakes that you would want to caution against?
Yeah, so most people, they get into this world through some sort of course platform. So they get to hear about Thinkific or Teachable or Kajabi or Podia or any of the other platforms out there, right? And these services are amazing. They're really, fantastic. They've opened up a whole industry for coaches and for anyone that wants to monetize their knowledge. The problem, however, is that these platforms, they're not going to tell you how hard it is to sell a course. They're going to basically tell you that you just need to create the course and then you can figure out how to sell it and market it afterward. And if you go through their beginner trainings, etc., 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 they're not going to tell you that there's anything you need to do before signing up with them, right? But that's not the way to go. Like, if you try to create your course first, you're basically working from this might sound weird, but you're working from a very selfish mindset. It's basically like, I have an idea, I want to create a course, this is what I want to do, and then I'm going to try to shove it down people's throat, right? When really the only way to really be successful at this is to go to market first, find a problem that people are paying to get rid of, and there's people paying to get rid of that problem, or they're not getting help with solving that problem, or identifying a problem that no one is solving, and then solving that better or different or in a way that others aren't doing. And that's really the only way to go, is to build your whole business around solving a specific problem. And the bigger problem you solve, the more you get paid. That's really what it's all about.
Yeah, I remember when I walked through an online course creation course, I was taught, if you build it, they will come, right? Sort of a cliche that, hey, if I just build something that I'm passionate about, the money will come, right?
Yeah.
And that did not happen, right? So and I noticed that in the chat, we're seeing some people who are interested in creating online courses, maybe don't have it ready at this point. So can you tell us a little bit, maybe just 1 or 2 minutes, how to validate an idea before actually spending the time and resources to create that course?
Yeah, so that is also maybe the wrong way to think about it, because that also implies that you start with an idea and then figure out if it works or not. So the first thing you need to do, besides getting help with this, because what we're talking about here is not simple. So if you're not already experienced with this, and even so, you should be paying someone to help you with this. But if we set that aside, if you want to get started, the first thing you need to do as a complete beginner is to clarify your message around who you help and what problem you solve and what's in it for them, and then be ready to adjust that. So, but you just have a big idea of a problem you solve based on going online and seeing what people are paying to, which problem people are paying to get rid of, right? So you need to go online and see what people are paying for already, and in what way can you provide value. So you don't want to copy, you want to find a gap here in like, oh, like it can be anything. It can be that everyone is learning how to do something with ads, but not organically. Or you can see that a lot of people are asking for how to do it in a more safer way than what is being taught, etc. But you just want to start with a specific problem. But then before you even start thinking about the course and the curriculum and all that stuff, you need to focus entirely on building an audience around that problem, and then listen in and talk specifically with that audience, exactly what it is they want and need. And even more specifically, you need to get on the phone with people. You need to start coaching people one-on-one and really dig deep and really ask them, like, where are you right now? How is that affecting you? What is your desired outcome? Why is that important for you? What's standing in your way that you can't solve? How are you trying to solve it? That's not working for you. What if we did it like this? Is this something you would invest in? And even so, it's still not validated, but it's starting to give you some sort of idea of if this is valid or not. The only true validation is if people pay you. That's the only way to really validate something at the end of the day.
I
But
think that's so valuable. Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of times people come into it with a passion project and they have something that they're particularly interested. But like you said, it's not the way. What I appreciate about your approach, David, is that you're like, hey, look, it's not all rainbows and roses. There are some true business. You have to come into it with a business mindset, look at those problems, and then solve those problems. And you've referred a couple times to, okay, well, are people going to pay you for that solution? So I want to drive directly to that point, because a lot of people are interested in what type of, remuneration they can have for this, what type of compensation they're going to be given for imparting their knowledge in a course. So let's talk about that a little bit. What are some ranges? How would you discuss the concept of setting a price for your course?
Yeah, so again, we tend to think that we have the answers, but the way we want to go about this is that at any point in time, if we are thinking, we're making a mistake. So any sort of thinking on our part has to be eliminated. It all has to be systematic and systemized. So when it comes to the pricing, it's not up to us to decide the pricing. It's up to our market. So we need to have a system where our market is paying us exactly how much they're willing to pay us. And the way I recommend you to do it, there are different ways of doing it, but the way I recommend you to do it is to start at $100, like really underprice it as much as you possibly can and over deliver. Just make it a stupid offer, like a kind of offer that no one in their right mind would say no to. And then what you say right from the beginning is that when this course is finished, it's going to cost $2,000 or $3,000 or whatever it is you're projecting, and that should be like beyond your comfort zone, but it should be really like out there. And then what you say is, because this course isn't finished, it's a work in progress, I want to create the course by working directly with you. So for that reason, I'm offering this at a 90% discount for the first 10 people. And that justifies why you're charging $200 for a $2,000 course without you positioning yourself too low, and you're creating natural scarcity and urgency. So what this industry has gotten right is that we need to have a reason to act now, otherwise people will just buy it tomorrow. But what this industry has gotten wrong is creating fake timers, fake scarcity, closing down the course and then opening it up again, and basically running our personal brand through the mud by outright lying, right? So at some point, it became normal for marketers to deceive people, and we just gobbled it up. And I think marketing can be done with integrity and still valuable. So we need to have scarcity and urgency, but it can be natural scarcity and urgency, meaning that we offer it at a specific price point for the first 10 people. And that way we can say to people, we got 4 spots left, 3 spots left, 2 spots left, who wants the last spot? And then we increase the price. So I call this the wave launch strategy. That way we can have these constant points of scarcity and urgency, because then we just go up to $300 and we can keep it very flexible. We can get the momentum going, get all the testimonials, and adjust the course. And by working with people directly, we create the course specifically for our paying clients, right?
That's incredibly helpful. And again, what you've done here, David, is you've brought this into the real world, the authentic world of online courses, because, you know, probably many of you who are in the audience right now, type yes if you agree. You've seen those online courses with the fake timers. It's like, you have to buy this course in 5 minutes. And I refresh my browser and it's like, oh, the timer just reset to 5 minutes again. There's something going on here. So I appreciate the fact that you're building in an authentic source of scarcity. But so far, we've kind of assumed and supposed that there is going to be somewhat of an audience, but I want to get to that point. How do you actually create an audience? You can't simply materialize these things by wishing it to be. So what are the steps that you would take to creating audience and generating interest around your course topic?
Great. Yeah. So this is the other way this selfishness trips us up, because we think we have to create our own audience, right? But what we can do, and I don't know if I lost you there, Daniel, I can't see you, but I'm going to keep talking. Okay, there we go. So this is the thing. When you are just getting started, you don't have a strong position. Like, you don't have a strong personal brand. Even though you say the exact same thing as Tony Robbins, like if Tony Robbins writes something online, he's going to get millions of likes and people are going to worship him. If you write the same thing, you're not going to, depending on if you are Tony Robbins, maybe you will, right? But you're not going to get the same reaction, right? And it's really important to understand that it matters who says it, right? So in the beginning, because you don't have a strong position or a brand, you're like working uphill. So what do you do? How can you generate value when you don't have position? So the approach that I use and what I recommend and what I teach my clients is to go for a mission-driven community approach. So instead of putting the emphasis on us, we put the emphasis on our mission. So as I mentioned earlier, the first thing we need to do is we need to be really, really clear about who we help, what is the problem we solve, and why is that important for them, right? So then what we do is we create a community that is a reflection of that mission statement. So my mission statement is I help instructors create and sell their online courses so they can thrive by helping others. So I build a community for instructors to connect and network with other instructors around the topic of how to create and sell your online course. And then the whole culture around that is that we are doing this so we can thrive by helping other people. So that way I'm attracting the exact people that I want to come to me, right? Without specifically putting myself in the center. So what I'm doing is I'm creating value out of thin air by offering member A to member B, because the community becomes more and more valuable the more members that come in. So it's this kind of thing that just takes off, that is not reliant on me, that isn't dependent on me. But then when people enter the community, they get welcomed by me, right? So they get this special position. And this is the exact approach that I've helped my clients with as well, right? So even though they are starting right from the beginning, they create this community around a specific problem that people are trying to connect with others around. They want to be able to talk about it, get support, be in a community, right? So they enter this community, and then you gradually position yourself right within that zone of influence, so to speak.
So let me ask this. Is this community prior to the creation of a course then?
Long prior. Or
Okay.
actually, it's this is another common mistake, people thinking that there are any waiting times. So this whole idea that you need to do this before you do that, that is a mistake as well. However, in practice, what tends to happen is that we end up delaying and we think we need to do this before the other, etc. Right? But yeah, you should build a community before you create the course, because when you build a community, that's when you start asking people, why did you join this community? So you're getting, in marketing terms, the what we call the desired outcome, right? And then you're asking, well, what's stopping you? So now you get 2 points of information. You get the obstacle and you get the desired outcome. And this is exactly what you need in order to create free content, course content, paid content, coaching, whatever it is, because then you can go to market with an offer. Hey, I'm going to help you with this obstacle so you can get this thing that you're looking for, right?
It almost sounds as if you're allowing your audience, your community, to create the structure of the course and even perhaps some of the content, because they are actually handing over, hey, this is what I'm interested in. This is the challenge that I'm facing. Would you say that's correct?
Yeah, I would say that our role as course creators is to be a medium for our market to fulfill its own desires.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the market has desire, and we are simply a way for the market to serve itself. So I never help someone unless they ask me for help. I never answer a question unless someone asks me a question, right? I never create content unless I see someone asking for help with that. So
Yeah.
I never have to think about what kind of content I create or what kind of course I create. I just gather questions. If someone asks me, how do you create engagement in your Facebook group, and I see a lot of people asking that, then I know that there's a need for this, and I put it in the course itself. This is how you deliver the actual results that people are looking for.
That is outstanding. And a lot of the information that you're transmitting to us right now, David, I have never heard it before in the many online course creation gurus and coaches that I've interacted with. So I appreciate the authenticity. I want to invite it now to, I want to open up an invitation to our audience to ask us the questions, ask David the questions that perhaps are most troubling you right now as you approach the idea of an online course. So we're monitoring the chat. It looks like some of you are interacting in Spanish as well. Hablamos español, both David and I, so we can read and interact if you so desire. And as we wait for some of those questions to come in, you've mentioned so many times here in this conversation so far, David, things that I would describe as mindset, right?
Yeah.
Can you talk to me briefly about what is the mindset of an online course creator and how should we approach that issue?
Yeah. It depends on who you are, right? Some people, they get motivated by trying to avoid pain. Other people get more motivated about trying to get the big desire, the big goal, whatever it is. So we are different. So the important thing here, from my point of view, is that we don't get stuck in this idea of what is the right mindset, but rather that instead of learning what to think, it's better to learn how to think. And really, the way I think of mindset is like, how long can you be doing the right thing? Like, we all instinctively kind of know what is the right thing and what is the wrong thing to do, because our results are the results of our decisions, right? So that's how you kind of measure a mindset. Now, more practically speaking, how you actually build the mindset that you need is that you really, you need to see what you need to sit down and figure out what kind of person you need to become in order to make the decisions that will get you to your goals. So it's all important. You need to have a clear idea of what your goals are. Then you also need to have a very clear strategy on what's needed to get there. That's usually where you get help from a mentor or someone teaching you, right? And then you need to basically understand what kind of person you need to become in order to do this. Because as I mentioned earlier, what we're talking about here is not a simple problem. This is not like tying your shoes. There are so many areas that you need to be proficient in your ability to listen to people, in your ability to deliver, to serve people, in your ability to teach, to be structured, to be ordered, to manage a team, etc. Like these are all skill sets that are absolutely fundamental. So it requires like a whole spectrum of skill sets from you.
Sure. Let's go to Jorge's question. He says, in your opinion, how long should the course be available to the clients? Any thoughts around that?
Yeah. So the way I do it and how I teach my clients is we always go for lifetime access, and for various reasons. So as we mentioned earlier, there's really no better way. The best validation you can get is when people pay you, right? And the best market research you can get is from people that have paid you. So it's actually better to just keep your clients inside some sort of support channel. So the way we do it is we have a community for the people that have paid, and that way we get the whole energy going and the momentum, etc., and people talking about their issues and what they need help with. So for that reason, I just don't think it makes sense to put a time limit on it, on how long people should have access to the material, because the training material is, you record it once and then it's there. And the systems we use for support are all scalable. It doesn't matter if we have one client or 10,000. We're still able to help people in the same way. And it's just helpful for other clients when someone else is there, maybe someone that has come further or that is walking in their footsteps, etc. So I don't see any reason at all to exclude clients. Keep them in your world, because a paying client is 15 times easier to sell the next level to. So your motivation here should be to keep them in the paid level, and then to offer the next step once that is available and ready.
And to that point, then Jorge is wondering if the course has an upgrade in the meantime. How would you respond to that?
Yeah, I think it still makes sense to give people complete access to that paid level. And if you want to incentivize people to get to the next level, don't make this first level worse, make the other level better. Always.
Absolutely. So we've talked about a lot about the word community, okay? But where tactically is that community going to live? What platforms and what methods do you use and would you recommend to create and cultivate that community?
Yeah. So, some people would tell you that you can do it anywhere. And I think it's 50-50. I think we're in a situation right now where there is a medium that is leaps and bounds beyond anything else. The only thing even close to it would be a YouTube channel. But really, at the end of the day, it's a Facebook group. For so many people are on Facebook. If you can't have your business working on Facebook, there's something wrong with your business, not the platform itself. The way the whole thing is structured up and built up, at least at the time of this recording, Facebook groups are the way to go. And nothing else is even close, as far as I know.
So Facebook groups is an obvious answer to me as well, as I would think about this. But then Facebook, I can create a Facebook group, David, in 5 minutes from now.
Yeah.
But how do I actually bring in people to that Facebook group? How am I going to get out and populate the Facebook group with people who are interested in that given topic?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, so this is the kind of answer that would take some time to answer, because there are so many different strategies. But if we look at it from an overview kind of thing, the first thing you need to do is to optimize your profile. You need to think of your Facebook profile as your landing page. It's like your online store, and we all have one. And we have all been allowed to have up to 5,000 leads on our Facebook profile. So meaning if you send out friend requests, then people are gonna see your content on your profile, and you use that content to incentivize people to join your group. So you set up your profile so it naturally guides people into your group, and then you have the kind of content that drives people into the group itself. And also doing something like this, like after a while, you will have a community of a certain size, and then it becomes quite natural that you get invited to a podcast or an interview, and you help people, and at the end of this, we'll invite people to my group for whoever wants to join.
So on that point, though, a lot of times there's people, and I'm familiar with this, and I would consider myself in this group, that my Facebook identity is one thing, and I want to share pictures of my children so their grandma can see them, etc. Is there any way to distance myself from my course and say, sell my course does not come across in a way where I have to convey my own individual person on my Facebook platform?
Yeah, so there's usually these two different these two different schools of thought, like if you want to go organic or if you want to go paid. And it's not like one is better than the other. However, I would definitely recommend you, if you're getting started, to start with the organic, to start with the paid, right? Because you're not going to be 100% clear on your message and your offer and your solution, and your client results might, if you're just getting started, you're not going to have that big stack of client results. So start organic first, at least, and then you can go 100% organic even at the end, but usually, like the best businesses out there, they are a combination of both. And really, what I would urge you to do is that if you go in and decide that you're going to help people and you're going to help people with solving this problem, is that you shouldn't think of it as something that you do, but something that you are. So really, there shouldn't be any difference there between how you present yourself on your Facebook profile. So
That's
with
really
that,
helpful.
so with that said, you can start a Facebook Messenger group chat with your family, and you can keep talking with them there. Facebook also has these functions where you can create friend lists. So when you post content on your Facebook profile, only those people can see it. But really, I would kind of like talk with your family and kind of explain what it is you're doing and ask them to support you with it, and ask if you can keep if they're not happy with it, that they can keep in touch somewhere else.
That's a great approach and a very helpful answer. Since we are winding down on the time that we've allotted to this, I sort of want to close the conversation here live, but I want to assure you that the conversation is not over. So this live stream will remain in perpetuity on the various social channels, and you're welcome to interact on the thread and continue asking questions, and we'll do our best to address those. But in the meantime, I want to give you some insight as to how you can continue learning and gaining value from the conversation that we've started here in the past 30 minutes. GetResponse allows you, we allow you to build a website. We're a website builder and then a full stack marketing platform. So anything that you need to market your course, whether that involves social media or email marketing, we've got everything that you need in one central platform for a low price. And then I want to also invite you to join David's Facebook group. Now, if you are to go to Facebook and then you search for online course secrets, David's group will appear at the top of the list. Click join, answer a few simple questions, and David's team will be happy to support you by entering the group. Any final comments you want to share there, David, about your Facebook group or the way that you can continue to support online course creators?
Yeah, I mean, if you decide that this is something you want to do and you want to go down this route, and you join our group, we have a team. We are all there to help you, whether you want to do this on your own or whether you want extra help. So you're gonna be well taken care of, and we'll make sure you get the help you need. And the other thing I want to say here is that I think I meet people day in, day out that think they don't have something valuable to offer, and that can't see the treasure they're sitting on because it's so natural and normal to them. So to really have faith in yourself. If you're out there and you're thinking that, oh, maybe you don't have something valuable enough, and email marketing is fantastic, and it's definitely always a part of it. So you have GetResponse here helping you out, and if you want to get more help with online courses, then go ahead and join the community, and we'd love to take a look at what's going on and if we can help you in any way. Excellent.
I want to say a sincere thank you to everyone who has joined us for this live stream. We appreciate your involvement, and on behalf of both David and I'd like to wish you best of luck in your journey. Thank you so much, and take care.
Thank you.